We live in a society that constantly tries to define us, label us. Weightless words with no real power that are limiting, unfair, bullshit. But labels can strangle. They take hold and restrict us. So how do we free ourselves? Some never do. But for those who remain, there's hope. Hope in finding a person, a connection, a passion, or a love that's elevating. It's about finding a force or a cause bigger than yourself. For Logan, it was music, rock and roll, like a spirit force that gave purpose to his life. A guitar that transformed him into a superhero of sorts, certainly a hero of mine. This is his story. This is Logan's Way.
They noticed that Logan wasn't turning.
And they found out that he was breech. He was not going to be coming out the proper way babies should.
They wanted to do what's called an inversion. Two very large doctors came in. One grabbed the head exterior and one grabbed the feet. And they started to push Logan and work him around.
His mom screamed through the roof. I went nuts.
They went the other way. And he wouldn't turn. The reason he wouldn't turn is because his cord was around his neck 3 times. By doing that, they were basically strangling him. His cord not only was wrapped around his neck 3 times, but he had a knot in it. You know, people ask me if they think that's why he's autistic. I don't care.
My family had seen things from Logan that they didn't understand.
And he never cried like a normal baby.
When he was little, he didn't talk much. He wanted, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same time. He wanted to take his bath at the same time. He really got dialed into having a routine. They put him in a glass room. They played with him. They did flashcards with him. They talked with him. This was a doctor quite renowned in the autism field, and she just came in and said, this is something that your kid has, but it's not a bad thing.
I'm pretty sure that Logan went through quite a bit as a kid, and I know my nephew does as an autistic kid.
And I remember being in the kitchen and washing the dishes, and Logan came walking through with his backpack on, and he says, "Hey Dad, hey Mom," and he was all smiling, and something deep inside of me told me something wasn't right. And I went into his room and I said, "Logan, what's going on?" He had had another rough day at school.
Why am I alive? What's my purpose?
Listen to me. Your purpose is more. Honey,
Off me.
No, you listen. You are more than you'll ever know. Your purpose goes beyond something you'll ever understand, honey. Please. Never ever wonder why you're alive. Never. You'll see. Logan could have gone a different way. Today, he's proven to me and hopefully to himself that every bit of him is worth living. I can't imagine life without Logan. He's my miracle.
I honestly didn't even know Logan was autistic. I didn't know.
I only knew Logan as an excellent virtuoso guitar player. I didn't realize that he had any kind of diagnosis of autism or anything like that.
Этого и не знал, и не догадывался, что Логан может быть, что у него аутизм.
You know how you're looking at an equation and then you only know it one way? Well, with my brain, I guess it challenges myself to see many other ways of how to deal with the problem. So it's just 2 + 2 = 4, and then I'm in my head what are the other situation? 3 + 1, simple as that.
He would remember all these movies, 50 movies, no matter genre or anything or actor. No, he would remember the line perfectly.
As I looked over the homework, basically 1 through 15 would be, let's say, 1 + 2, and then 16 through 30 was 2 + 1. So what they did is they took the kids and they would flip everything on the second half of the problems and kind of mix them all up. And Logan knew that just by glancing at the numbers down below, and he thought it was ridiculous.
We were told that he was going to do something in the arts. I didn't understand. He didn't like to draw. He wasn't into coloring. He wasn't into painting. What art is he going to be into? Guitars in the house, basses in the house. Tried to get him interested in music, playing an instrument, and we pushed music. I
didn't really talk to a lot of people growing up, so I guess I just played music a lot, and that's how I got good at it.
Where are you learning all this, you know? And he said, YouTube.
He would come out the next day, show Dad, and just be like, burr, 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 and it was like, okay, that was not even 24 hours. How did you do that? That was insane.
Just stay like in my room doing 6 to 8 hours, like almost every day, just playing the guitar, figuring it out. Nikola Tesla said once, ideas grow when you're mostly alone, so I guess that's where my music really grew. When I was a kid, like, I really didn't have any interest in anything, so I would just kind of space out. So when I found music, it was just like holy shit. My first gig I ever went to was Black Label Society in 2008. That was Ozzy Osbourne's guitar Zakk Wylde, and that day I loved guitar ever since.
He was having a hard time with the party scene and where he was headed. And he had been getting kind of wild.
Mine's a sick place to be, and if you don't let it out, it just turns into a mess, to be honest.
And he was just trying to bury the pain.
Before she went away, I promised her that I just wouldn't give up.
He told Grandma that he would make a difference, and he was making that choice right then and there. And he did. And he changed his patterns, his friends, his choices.
It's really a hard industry, but like if you can stick through, I believe you can make it.
Get around Logan is like being around, a bearded kid that I don't have.
He just does a lot of things that are just extra sweet and endearing that most people would just take for granted. The band has always been a great band, and they always have great chemistry together, even when there's any kind of issues or anything like that. But there's just something that you can feel and you can't really describe what it is in his presence. There's some kind of a calmness, and he's just really sweet. I mean, that's like the only word that really comes to my mind, is that he's very, very sweet.
Sometimes I always felt like I was Luke Skywalker, I guess. Just trying to learn the ways of the Force best I can. I mean, if I get my hand cut off or like Yoda bumps me on the head a bunch of times, I guess I still come through.
Whatever Logan tries, he could do anything.
When Logan goes after something, he goes after it all the way.
I constantly kind of just look up at the stars, and I just wonder, like maybe like stars are looking at us, and they're the audience of like how our lives being played out. And I would like the same effect to be on a stage, be like I'm playing to the stars. I think it's the purest form of expression for human beings. That's what I think music is.
He's always playing something in his head. If he doesn't have a guitar in his hand, he's playing in his head, or he's mixing a tune in his head, or he's figuring out a riff in his head. And
we all should be like Logan. I mean,
dude, we're all dysfunctional.
Our first bass player
He's the
was
only
like
real
that.
normal one.
You spend a lot of time in your head, I guess, but in my head, sometimes it's too much. So like at work, I'll just make a song just to get through the day. I store it in my brain. I put it somewhere, I construct it, and then I make the song. I sing a note, I start off a root, and then I kind of sing a melody, and then I think of a rhythm. that's how I deal with like sometimes just going to work. It's just like I don't want to be here. I just want to make music. I got nothing in my hand, so I'll just whistle it or I'll just sing like some like nursery rhyme stuff, and then it'll turn into like something else. So just start off with a simple melody and reconstruct it there.
I never got to really experience someone that's autistic or that could literally play any instrument and rock out.
He could pretty much give Logan any instrument, he's gonna definitely excel.
Именно инструмент и Логан становятся единым. Он часами может играть на гитаре, на каком-то другом, на клавишах.
He came into my house and he started playing my piano, and from what I understand, he doesn't play the piano. And all of a sudden I'm going like, is this kid's playing the piano in like 2 minutes? And so then I was thinking, hey Logan, should I get a cello and want to jam along with my acoustic stuff? And he's like, yeah. So I'm like, well, we can, hey Logan, let's go get that cello. So we went and got a cello, figured out how to tune it within minutes. And probably within 15 minutes, he's doing arpeggios. He's got the proper posture and he's up and down the neck, just like a pro. It was mind-blowing.
If we let more people that are deemed gifted to be gifted and do what they do, you will have more Einsteins, you'll have more Gates, you'll have all of these people that became successful due to the ability to think their own thoughts.
Logan and I, we've jammed before. I never really thought he'd be in my band, and then Dean said he's going to be in the band, and I said, Dean, you're crazy.
Logan and I kind of wrote the song, starting off with the riff that he was doing, that intro riff at the beginning of the song.
And I just started with like an open note thing right here with D. So I went.
I'm out having a cigarette, and I hear the riff for Logan's Way, and then I hear everything coming together, and it almost brought a tear to my eye. I'm like, dude, that's a song right there.
It's like pancakes. You had the plain ones and like chocolate velvet, and then just adding more sweets on top of it. Hopefully you don't get sick at the end of it.
And it just kind of fell into place. It wasn't really thought out. It just kind of just came together like that. It was like most of our songs, we just kind of hear something and feel something and then go with it.
And we knew right away it was going to be catchy, and you could just feel it. That's all I can say.
I thought, wow, this is gonna be it. Just because you have a label and people want to make it something bad doesn't mean it is. Logan, autism, that's his thing, but it's not bad. It's his superstar quality.
As long as you know Logan's Way, you're good.
Probably the best guitarist I've ever played with, you know.
We all have a human connection, and we have an obligation to each other to at least give each other a chance before we judge anybody.
Someone different could be normal. You're still one person, you're still a human being in this world.
Never ever wonder why you're alive. Never.
Logan has a more normal life than all of us. Sees it in a kind, loving way, the way the rest of us should.
He's gonna conquer the world.
Stay true.
Like, I like to be remembered by people who said, hey, I liked your stuff.
If you could go back in time and have been born, quote unquote, normal, would you do it?
I don't want to change a thing.